Hey guys, I'm Jason, and this is my garage. So bear with me. It's the first time doing this in quite a while. As you'll probably notice, this is gonna suck. So the point of all this is to share some of the projects I got going on in here and just see what happens. One of the big ones that I'm working on right now is right behind me. I got this Miata, and I'm going to be installing that. I've got an Edelbrock Supercharger that I picked up here a few weeks ago, and I want to get that in there. So this is my 2017 Mazda Miata RF. This is the hardtop version. I never considered myself a Mazda guy, a Miata guy, really, until I saw the RF and fell in love with the lines. So in the 2 years we've had it, we've done a few little things to it. One of the first ones was the smart top controller for the hard top. Absolutely love that. You know, one button push, top up and down, no more holding it. Got rid of the 6 mile an hour speed limit restriction. We put the Android Auto update in it. That's just made life easier on road trips, having Android Auto built in. I put a backup camera in it because the blind spots with the hard top are a little tough. So the backup camera helps when pulling in and out of the garage and in parking lots, that kind of thing. And then one of the big ones last year was, or the big project last year was, I installed a set of Meister R Zeta CRD coilovers on it. Wanted to drop the car a little bit. That was the big driver there, you know, because it's got the 4x4 look when it's stock. So with the coilovers on it, I was able to drop it about an inch. I chose the coilovers because you know, all the research I did, you could do the progressive springs or the Coney yellows and lower it that way, but then you also would probably want to do sway bars upgrades as well, and I think the big one there would have been a front sway bar, and everything I read about doing a front sway bar install just looked like a pain in the butt. So I didn't want to do that. The more I read about doing a full coilover setup, the more I was sold on the idea of being able to just do coilovers and eliminate the need for a sway bar. So I put the Meister R's on it last year, and right around last July, or well, this July, I put coilovers on it this July, and loved it. I was able to get the ride height exactly where I wanted it. Firmed up the ride, but not terrible. The wife still enjoys it, and it got rid of a lot of the roll. There's still a little bit there, but nowhere near like it is when it's stock. So that's been great. Next on my wish list was the Wilwood big brake kit that's out there. Was looking for a little bit better brakes after a trip to Tail of the Dragon this summer. Thought that would probably be a logical next step. And you know, also been looking at either Supercharger or turbo setup. Both of those were kind of a bigger wish. Wasn't planning on doing either one of those this soon. But when Black Friday deals started rolling around, I was hunting for a deal on the brake kits. Wasn't finding much, but I kept finding some pretty good deals on the Edelbrock Supercharger. And I had been leaning towards the Supercharger anyway, just because you know, with a blower, a Supercharger, you're probably not going to change the character of the motor like you would with a turbo. And I really like the way the motor is stock. I like the feel. I like how revvy it is and kind of punchy. You know, the turbo, I was worried that I would lose some of that, change the feel of the motor with the turbo in it. So that's what made me lean towards a Supercharger kit. When I was thinking about doing the Supercharger install, you know, I was doing some research on how difficult the install would be, because I would want to do it myself. I didn't want to take it to a shop and have it done. I enjoy doing this stuff myself. But I noticed there weren't any videos on YouTube of anybody installing a supercharger on an ND. I was finding all kinds of installs on NAs and NCs and NBs, you know, but nothing on the new NDs. There's blog articles out there, guys doing it. They're showing before and after, but none of the actual install process. So that's what jump started all this. I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna do this myself. We'll just record it myself. So you guys get to sit through my sucky first few YouTube videos as I tackle this on my own. So that's where we are. So yeah, next step before I get into the install is doing an inventory, make sure all the parts are here. So I know you guys are probably curious, or you might be curious what's in the box. I can show you real quick before we go through it. So in the crate, you know, obviously you get the supercharger itself, great big box. You get the coolant reservoir, electric water pump. There's a box full of hoses and a wiring harness that comes with it, gaskets, a new belt, intake, new K&N air filter. There's a piece of fuel line to extend fuel line in here, all kinds of miscellaneous parts. And then you get, I bought the kit with the Edelbrock tune included, so you get the ECU Tech license and programmer. So yeah, there's all that, and you also, of course, get the intake opener here, and you get a box full of brackets and assorted hardware and different mounts, all kinds of miscellaneous stuff in here. To get this started, I need to do a quick inventory, make sure I got all the parts that I'm expecting to get. It was pretty cool, shipped with this nice binder instruction manual with some nice color pictures and diagrams, explains what all the parts are and so on and so forth. The ECU Tech programmer, I went ahead and sent away for the calibration file, got that all plugged into the computer and into the car, and downloaded what it needs so that Edelbrock can send me the calibration file. As soon as I get that, then I think I'm ready to start on tear down of the car itself. And in the meantime, I just need to make sure I've got all the parts that I'm expecting to get. So I'm gonna jump into that, and we'll be back when inventory's done. Okay, so knocked inventory out. It was actually pretty straightforward. I'm pretty sure I've got everything. Don't think I'm missing anything. I suppose if I am, I'll find out when I really get into it. And yeah, that'll hurt. Good thing is I'm doing this in the middle of winter. It's late December now, so if the car has to sit for a few weeks while I wait for a part, no big deal. But regardless, I think I'm set. The only other thing I wanted to do was get a before and after drive video of the car. I've read and heard maybe that Supercharger might make it a little bit louder, and I've already got a Roadster Sport twin tip exhaust on it with no baffles in it, so it's about as loud as I would want it, as is. It sounds decent to me. It's got a nice grumble, nice little growl to it, as much as you can get out of a four-banger. So yeah, I've been pretty happy with that, and I don't really want to make it too much louder. So to do that, I wanted to get some video of how the car sounds as it sits now. So to do that, I went ahead and I picked up a cheapy little, I don't know if you can see it, I picked up a cheapy little lapel mic and mounted it on on the backup light right above the license plate here. Ran that into the trunk, and then I ran that through under some trim, all the trim panels in here, and into the cabin, so it's coming out right behind the seat. And I've got I don't know if you can see it, it's running, you probably can't see it in the camera, but it's running right next to the seat there. I've got the microphone camera, so I can stick a camera in between the seats and you know, get a nice view out the dash and get a nice exhaust note. So I'm going to take the car out for one last spin as it sits, just to record the exhaust as it sounds, and then I think I'm ready to go. So we'll be back. Have managed to watch this far, I appreciate it. Hopefully you'll stay tuned because I'm going to break this up into a few parts. I'm going to do a video on the teardown and show everything that's coming off the car and current state there, and then another video with the install and installation of all the new parts and the first start, and then I'll do another video with first drive, and hopefully all that goes well. We'll see. So thanks much. Stay tuned.